painting isn't just for artists, it's for everyone who wants to feel happier and healthier. Get ready to discover some of the benefits of painting. While I talk about them, you can watch me paint this pale-headed Rosella in watercolour. I know you're busy, you have a million things to do, and you have no time to yourself. The kids are pulling you in 10 different directions, work is demanding, and you need to find some time to spend with your partner. You feel like one of those squeezy Spider-Man toys being stretched in all different directions. You need some time to yourself where you can switch off your noisy world for a little while. That's where painting comes in. And I believe anyone can learn to paint. It's not just for talented, creative people. So let's dive in and look at the reasons why painting is so beneficial. Okay, the first reason why you should take up painting or drawing is because it can help to lower stress levels. Creative exercises such as painting or drawing can help to calm your mind and reduce anxiety. I don't know about you, but my mind is really busy and I find it difficult to switch off my thoughts. I'm always thinking about what I need to do, or I'm worrying about one of the kids or something else. So I've been doing some reading about how art therapy can be beneficial to our mental health. And I learned about a hormone produced by the body called cortisol. It's often referred to as the stress hormone. It has an important role because it helps to regulate blood sugar levels and it helps to reduce inflammation. It also increases the heart rate and blood pressure in our body's response to physical stress. Too much cortisol, though, can lead to anxiety and depression, among other things. I read a study where they measured cortisol levels of participants before and after they made some art using collage materials, modelling clay and some markers. They found that 75% of the participants had a reduction in the level of cortisol after they created their artwork. I've put a link to the study in the description of the video if you'd like to read it. Studies aside, I know how I feel when I get to paint all day. I feel relaxed because when I paint, my mind is focused on what I'm doing. It gives me a break from the torrent of thoughts that tumble into my mind when I'm not painting. Which leads me to benefit of painting number 2, mindfulness. Painting and drawing or being creative in another way can help you to be in the moment and practice mindfulness, which is good for your overall health and well-being. When I paint, I'm usually fully immersed in the creative process. So much so that if anyone tries to talk to me while I'm painting, I find it really hard to respond. I can't seem to find my words because I'm fully engaged in the painting process. Although painting can be tiring, I feel uplifted after a day with my brushes and paints. Whereas if I go for days without painting, I start to feel a bit agitated or anxious. I'm sure that's because I miss the calming and meditative effect that painting has on me. When I paint, I lose time. 2 hours sometimes feels like about 15 minutes because my mind is completely focused on the process of painting. Those distracting thoughts that enter my mind when I'm not painting aren't there. And that can be really refreshing. Painting can act as a release from the stresses of everyday life. And benefit number 3, patience and persistence. Drawing and painting can help increase your patience and persistence. In order to become a great artist, you need to be dedicated to building your skills over time. It's not something that can be done quickly. It takes years and years of solid practice to become skilled. Artists learn to be patient with themselves while they perfect their craft. Progress is often slow, but they know they need to persist in order to improve. Artists learn to embrace the process of creating art. They work through their problems and they pay attention to detail. All of these positive practices can flow over into everyday life and they can help us to build resilience and determination as we face life's challenges. Benefit number 4, heightened perceptions. Although it's difficult to make a broad generalization, artists train themselves to develop a strong sensitivity to the world around them, and they may notice details that others miss. When you're an artist, you might notice things differently to other people, and you might become more aware of your surroundings. As an artist, I see the light, shade, texture, and beautiful movement of a tree, whereas a non-artist may not even notice the tree at all. As I walk to my studio in the morning, I see a spider's web dripping with dew. I stare at it for a while, marvelling at its beauty. I take my phone out and snap a photo of it in case I ever want to paint it. Other people who don't paint or draw would simply walk past it and not even notice it. As an artist, I think you get to look at the world the way a child does, where everything is a wonder to you, and that can be really refreshing. Number 5, improved problem-solving skills. Yes, believe it or not, drawing and painting can be a great way to increase your problem-solving skills. When you work on a new painting, it's common to encounter creative blocks. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you just can't seem to make it work the way you want it to. So then you have to find solutions to overcome the obstacle that's holding you back. You might start experimenting with different techniques, or you might try different media. When you paint, you have to choose your colours and work out your compositions, and that requires making decisions and solving problems. You will no doubt make many mistakes as you're painting or drawing. Then you have to use problem-solving skills to overcome or adapt the mistakes. And this ties back to being patient and persistent. When you are creative, you have to be willing to adapt and try new things. And number 6, improved fine motor skills. Fine motor skills are those skills we use with our hands to perform precise and controlled movements. When you paint and draw, you improve those skills. Using a brush or a pencil to perform precise movements to create a painting or drawing helps to develop better hand-eye coordination and increased dexterity. And you use your fine motor skills in daily activities, so why wouldn't you want to improve them? And there's my finished pale-headed Rosella. Participation in painting or drawing should be encouraged in people of all ages. Our little 2-year-old grandson doesn't have a large vocabulary at the moment, but one of the words he does know is painting. I introduced him to brushes and paints a few months ago, and he loves painting. Now, whenever he comes here, he says to me, painting. And that is music to my ears. I'm going to keep showing him just how wonderful painting and drawing is. If you paint, well done, keep it up. If you don't paint, but you're considering it, why wait? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to join us over on Patreon if you want to learn more about painting in watercolour. We've now got Discord integration. I have a link in the description. Happy painting, and I'll see you next week. Oh, you better not put that in the bloopers.
Just pick a side. I hate it.
This. Do I need to do that again? Is it good?
It's fine.
Yes.
What kind of sneeze was that?
Because then later on you can get B-roll of this.
Yeah.
Right.